Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm on the floor again. think I'm going to just start doing these all from the floor because that seems to be what I'm doing anyway. So anyway, this is brought to you by the floor again. So this video, to keep it short and sweet, I wanted to try and see what the improvements would be after trying different YouTubers' yoga practices for a week. See what the kind of different types of yoga are out there, what the different benefits are, and how I feel at the end. So if we get this started, let's go now. So off the bat, I start with Yoga with Adrienne. Now her channel has got an unbelievable amount of subscribers for a yoga channel, and we start with her video Yoga for Low Back and Hamstrings, which for me was really good. I just have really undeveloped hamstrings and they just get tight at the slightest movement, so this was perfect. Now the thing I like about Yoga with Adrienne is all her videos start off very slow and give you time to warm up into them, and each pose you hold for a certain amount of time. So because I like to personally do my yoga first thing in the morning, where you are a bit stiff, there's not a lot of blood flowing around the muscles, is it gives you time to warm up and really kind of focuses on the target areas without being overly strenuous. So it's perfect for that kind of morning wake up, I found. Now unfortunately for a lot of this video it was on the floor, so a lot of it is just kind of me lying on the floor with my ass up in the air, which is a bit unfortunate for the first video, but you just feel so much better afterwards. I think we focus a little bit too much on our upper body and don't give a lot of love and care to the lower body, and that's where a lot of issues start to happen for people like myself. Like I've had my fair share of back pain and leg pain and knee pain as well. So this one was really good. I'd highly recommend you give it a shot. Her videos tend to be 10 to 20 minutes long, sometimes up to 30. So it's perfect, just enough to get you up, get you going, and get you into the flow of things. Now the build up of this video is to, the main pose is to try and get you into this weird sideways lounge, but at the same time you're kind of opening your hips around and getting your feet as straight as you can up to the ceiling. Now I really struggle with this. My hips don't move to save themselves, so this was a very strange move to do, but at the end it really forces a lot of those tiny little muscles that you can't really stretch otherwise. So it was really interesting to at least attempt. I mean, it would take me months of doing that non-stop to be able to get anywhere near what the form should look like, but it's a good start. It's a very good start, I have to say. On day 2, we have the only kind of male yoga instructor I kind of found off the bat, which is Yoga with Tim. For some reason there's not a lot of male yoga instructors, but anyway, Tim's yoga channel primarily kind of focuses more around the strengthening aspect of yoga, and although first thing in the morning it can be very daunting and very knackering, which is maybe not quite what you want as soon as you wake up, it does have its own range of benefits to that, because one, if you're moving more blood into the muscles by moving around more, then you're more likely to wake the muscles up and less likely to hurt or strain yourself, especially if you're going into some sort of workout afterwards. Now his approach is very different. You do a lot of moving, just consistently wrapping yourself around, twisting around, and I've personally find that doing the twisting motions has a greater benefit to stretching than just the linear movements. That's just me personally, but I think it's because it's a range of movement further than what I would normally be used to. So because you're stretching it that bit further, when you come to do your normal range of movement the rest of the day, it doesn't quite feel so bad. Now quite a few of the movements aren't too difficult. It's just that because you're putting 2 or 3 together and just consistently going through them over and over, to begin with it doesn't feel too bad, but it very quickly builds up and you start to fatigue and all your form starts to go pretty quickly after a while, especially when he wants you to do anything that involves balancing on one foot. And if you know me at all, is that balancing and it's just not my cup of tea. I just can't do it. I have no center of balance at all. On day 3, we tried a video from Yoga by Candice. Now, Candice's videos center very much more around specific aspects. So whether you're trying to stretch or just improve flexibility in one specific range of motion, or improve in one specific area, all her videos are quite nice, short and sharp, and just concentrate in one targeted area, which obviously has its benefits whether you're recovering from something or, like everyone else, you have weaker spots than others. This allows you to spend your time targeting more on the little niggle or the issue at hand. So the video I tried on this one was 23-minute yoga for hips. Now, because I sit down the majority of the day and don't do very much, I suffer from what feels like frozen hips syndrome, which is basically where your hips just seize up and tighten from sitting around for too long, or even just from running, and the movements and the mobility in it goes, and it can become a nightmare, especially if you do any sort of swimming for a butterfly kick, or you do any sort of gymnastics, or even just for running itself to get that twisting motion into the run. Now, this one was perfect. It just takes you through a load of movements that all target that one specific area, and the benefits to this is because they are all movements for that area. If you're ever out and about and you need to stretch your hips off, it's quite easy to remember that sequence to take away with you for further down the line. That's where I feel like the advantages from this channel really come from. On day 4, I was originally really excited because I was looking at a channel called Fightmaster Yoga, and I thought that was just such a badass name, and I thought it'd be something really cool in it. Just turns out it's the person's surname, which is a little disappointing, but I digress. So it was alright actually. I was surprised. I thought the Find Your Purpose would make it a little too airy-fairy for myself. I focus in on this for the stretching and the feel-good factor of having a stretched out body afterwards, ready to exercise or work out or whatever I've got that day. But there are aspects of yoga that are very spiritual. I'm not really a very spiritual person, so I tried to kind of block that out where possible. But if you love that stuff, this channel is perfect for it. Fightmaster Yoga, I actually quite like the videos on here because they all start off quite slow, so it allows you to really get into it and focus on the breathing and really allow you to focus on where you are in the moment, and then it slowly ramps up, probably a bit more than I'm able to keep up with, but it does ramp up, and by the end of it you feel like you've gone through the trenches really with this, but you feel so much better afterwards. Even at the end of this, I was kind of just lying on the floor, just breathing deeply, trying to absorb all the goodness before I carried on with the day. And lastly, to finish the week, because for some reason I think a week is only 5 days, I finished on a video from Boho Beautiful titled Yoga for Tight and Sore Muscles, 20-minute yoga for hips, calves and hamstrings. Now at this point, my lower legs were starting to feel really good from really focusing on that all week with the previous videos, but oh my god, this video really kicked my ass. I don't know how she does it, but there's so much movement going on in just angles and range of motions that I am unable to get into. And I basically just spent the whole 20 minutes sweating, and frustrated and just doing everything I can to keep up. So basically there'll be a range of a couple of movements, and you just go through them, and you just basically just get quicker and quicker going through them. And unfortunately, most of the time I couldn't keep up. But if you really like being beaten up at this and really testing yourself and really putting yourself through the ringer, turning it into a bit more of a workout rather than just a stretch, this is definitely the channel to at least have a look at, because even when you watch the videos, you see the speed it's done at and the flexibility required, and it gives you something to strive towards. You've got something to chase rather than just mimicking what's going on mindlessly. You're trying to actively keep up with what's going on, which is an interesting alternate take on yoga. So I hope to keep this video short and sweet, just a little concise, to just show the different aspects of yoga that are out there on YouTube, and really just experiment, because 9 times out of 10 if I want to do something, I'll just always go to the same person. It's quite nice to change it up, because everyone has a new way. It's like working out, really. Everyone has a new plan, a new routine, and you can usually benefit from giving your body just a little shock, just changing it up every couple of days. So I would thoroughly recommend you try out at least some of these videos. They'll all be down in the comments section or the description section, whatever goes below the video. And yeah, give it a go yourself. I feel so much better for it. I'm actually able to sit up straight, which I haven't done for ages. Usually when I sit on my bum, I can't uncurve my back. It just wasn't possible before. But even after just 5 days, been able to push the chest out, and just feels so much better. And hopefully, because we're on this world, hopefully, fingers crossed, for a long period of time, you want to keep your health for as long as possible. So I totally recommend try them out. Usually 20 to 30 minutes. Who doesn't have 20 to 30 minutes? Anyway, enjoy.